the Dust guys are going to be helping the Eve guys in laying claim to planets.
So we're talking sovereignty, some sort of sovereignty connection.
Yeah,
between
yeah.
the two?
It's an element into the sovereignty connection and planetary interaction, which we are planning for an upcoming Eve expansion yet to be announced.
Right. So some sort of planetary invasion, because at some point you got to maybe link those two. Like,
absolutely.
If you have the troops through the dying, the fleet through the flying, you have to maybe somehow link the two. Maybe they do the transports from one fleet from one planet to the next.
Up to a point.
Yeah.
There's still a firewall as such between the two systems.
Right.
If an asteroid takes out Eve,
yeah,
or if some horrible infectious zombie disease takes out all of the Dust players,
guys, yeah.
we still want the games to function.
Right.
So we're designing the game system so they complement each other, but they're not critical.
Yeah, they're not connected critically yet.
Right.
Okay. Right. Awesome. That sounds really exciting. Like with just those two mechanics together, there's all sorts of places you guys can go with that.
Yeah.
Really. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Good to hear. Okay, so why don't we talk about the web plugins that you guys are?
Yeah. So in Dominion, a while ago we threw together a simple in-game browser, web browser for Eve, which was really simple. It's a relatively primitive web browser,
yeah.
But you can talk to web servers, and actually you can also give the web server some information about your character, where you are, and what you're looking for, etc. So it's kind of Eve-enabled web browser, which has allowed developers, game players actually, to develop their own websites, which are like Eve-aware. Now, this web browser is really primitive, so we're putting in a new one, which is based on WebKit or Google Chrome, and it's really modern. It supports Ajax and it supports pretty much everything a modern web browser does, but it's Eve enabled. So you look at it from within the game. It runs within the game. You can just pop out windows inside the game. And while talking to the website can be like aware of like what system you're in, if they're trusted, of course. You're not going to be giving away secret information.
Yeah.
What system you're in, like what corporation you're in, and so on. And so players will be able to create websites which are kind of function as just part of the game, extension of the game.
Right.
And I think it's going to be pretty exciting. And we're going to, of course, document this really well and explain
how to do it.
And it's probably going to take time for people to actually realize the full potential.
Right. Okay, yeah, because when I was in a corporate a while ago, they had in-game Eve or web pages you go to measure how much more this group, in the core got out and split out amongst people for payouts. So we're talking about developing tools such as ore tracking that they'll be able to develop, like that, stuff like that.
Absolutely, from missioning, from mining, managing corporations, whatever the players can think of.
Right. So you give them the development tools to actually do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, Eve is an incredibly sandboxy game, and it's all about providing just context, tools, and mechanisms for fun to happen.
Right.
We're less about like spoon-feeding storyline down your throat, and more about for you to actually just come up with situations and for really emergent and interesting behavior to emerge. So we are more like providers and enablers, and this browser is a tool enabling you to do more.
Right, it's sort of like the same sort of philosophy that Eve has done. Here you go, here's a set of tools, go crazy type of thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, cool. Okay, well, I guess anything else we want to talk about in terms of Eve Online?
I could talk for
we all could talk.
Yeah, I could talk for all day. Walking stations.
Walking station, ambulation.
Ambulation has been it's been renamed to Incarna.
Incarna?
Yes.
Okay.
And because you are embodied,
yeah,
walking around. But there's no release date set for it yet. Okay. We're working on it. We're working hard on the game design elements of it, and we're making discoveries that we want to make it fun and engaging.
Yeah.
And just coming up with a solid design that works not just for 5 hours or 12 hours, but works continuously is a challenging task.
It would be.
And we want to do it properly. So I know that the people are waiting for it. Some people are waiting for it, but we just want to do it well. So it's going to
take some time.
Yes, it's going to be shit when it's ready.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the way to do it. Mm-hmm. And I guess how does Dust
how does Dust 514
Connect to that.
connect to that?
Well,
There must be some
It
sort
doesn't directly, because the ambulation or the incarnate is you, the pod pilot. Now the pod pilot is, I mean, he's mostly jacked into his pod. He's floating in goo. He controls a battleship with his thought. I mean, he launches volleys of missiles just with a single thought, and he can just destroy hundreds of people just with a blink of an eye. So that's who you are as a pod pilot. You're a fleet commander. You're a controller of a big starship. And while the Dust mercenary is kind of boots on the ground, rough, holds his own gun, shoots people in the face. So it's different. It's a different type of character.
Yeah.
So when you are exiting your ship to go into a station, you're going in as totally different. There's a totally different gameplay that you're going to be interacting in. So it's going to be more strategic, more cerebral. Not to say that it's not cerebral. No, didn't mean to interrupt you, FPS guys. You are cerebral.
Yeah, you're cerebral.
Yes.
They're cerebral.
But but there's the reason why you go offline, why you exit your ship, is, at least that's the design that we're going with right now. You go in there to do stuff you don't want to register.
Right.
Because when you're sitting there, you can pretty much contact anyone, and you can talk to anyone, but everything is like registered and listed, and it's going over an electronic network.
Yeah.
So going into the station is to really go offline, to do stuff which you really don't want anybody to pick up. You want to go into the dark, smelly station. And it's pretty disgusting for you as a pod pilot to actually just be this weak piece of meat, this stupid, very limited body, where you just have to actually do your
Walk instead of
yes.
this big powerful starship as your entity,
Right.
right?
I think it creates a really nice setting, a nice juxtaposition. It's kind of disgusting, kind of like Smith.
Yeah.
Agent Smith.
Agent Smith,
smell.
he just doesn't like it. Smells like, I remember that. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. So it must be really interesting being in the meeting rooms these days in the EVE Online when you have Dust 514, you have EVE Online, now you have Incarna to think about. So it's some greater discussions there. Awesome.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, we've been going 6 years, and we've pretty much renewed almost all the elements of EVE. It's like a living organism. I mean, it's no longer the cells that were there 6 years ago. It's still EVE, but it's like been renewing the graphics, the audio, the effects, the game logic. We've like refactored the code several times, and all the time users have been adding more and more subscribers.
Yeah.
So it's a massively resilient beast. You couldn't build all this and just launch it and hope it would work. It's been growing for like years to become this incredibly complicated, intricate beast.
Yeah.
Which it is, and it's just amazing being a part of developing that.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, well, we'd like to thank you very much for coming on with us. Yep. And I hope everybody enjoyed that. We'll talk to you all later.